go for the Toronto Raptors, a Canadian sports record for consecutive victories, and what a game it was, because there was all kinds of storylines going into the ball game today. You know, you had Minnesota, obviously makes a ton of big trades there at the trade deadline, getting rid of Andrew Wiggins, bringing in D'Angelo Russell, and everyone's like, holy smokes, D'Lo's going to be playing his first game today because he didn't play in the first one against the Clippers, yet they beat the snot out of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and the Clippers. So coming into Toronto now, you get D'Lo in the lineup, and everyone's like, oh boy, this might be a tough one. We find out Lowry is going to be in the game before tip-off, we hear he's going to be playing. We're like, all right, that's great. Serge Ibaka's out with an illness. Are you kidding me? This team can't stay healthy. But then you really think about it. Well, now no Marc Gasol or Serge Ibaka. Well, who's your big today? It's going to have to be Boucher and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. And that ain't very big going against Cat Towns. This might get ugly. This might be one of the rough ones for the Raptors. You know, and what a ridiculous first half. Neither team can defend. Obviously, the Raptors were not known to be a good first half team. We're more of that hang around at halftime and then make that giant punch there in the second half. And that's exactly what happened today, everybody. That's exactly what we saw today. You know, first quarter was 40-36 Toronto after one quarter. Stupid. In the second quarter, they won 39-34. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the score was like 76-75 at halftime. That's ridiculous. No team is playing defense, but now we're at halftime, only down one. So it's exactly where the Raptors want to be at this point. And what we've seen this team do a ton of times is come out in the third quarter and dominate defensively and take over this ball game. And that is exactly what happened today. The Raptors offense kept it rolling. You know why? Their defense is awful. They're awful defensively. You know you're going to get your way offensively, so you just got to make your shots and get some stops, and you'll get a win. And in that third quarter, Raptors score 32 points and hold Minnesota to 19 points there in the third quarter. Big time stops there in the third, plus 13 were the Raptors there, and they were up by 12 going into the fourth quarter. But then in the fourth, they make some crazy comebacks. A lot of and ones, a lot of threes, a lot of questionable calls, as tonight was very a weird officiated ball game, I thought. But then the Raptors, as they do, they kind of let teams back in, but then they counter it and give them that knockout right hook. And that's exactly what happened today. They actually lose the fourth quarter 32-31, but this game was over quite a while. You know, I mean, you could arguably say like 5 or 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This game was over. It was over, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know what I'm talking about there. And the Raptors end up winning. Listen to this score. 136. You win by 11 at home. 15 straight win without Serge, without Gasol, without Norman Powell. And you still find a way to win by double digits against a healthy team. I understand D'Lo played in his first game and there's all kinds of excuses. They've won 15 straight. You won back-to-back games against Indiana. Home and home against Indiana. You won both games without Gasol and Powell, and I think Lowry left the Indiana game in the latter half of the second Indiana game. You won that one. You barely beat Brooklyn, but you were so short-handed you had to find a way to win. They barely hang on, but they got the win. Today, you find out no Ibaka, no Gasol, no Powell, and you go out there and you get another dub. This team is resilient. Championship mentality. They're playing hard every single night, and they're getting contributions from everybody. We'll get to that in a jiffy here, because there's a lot of things to touch on. Let's get to the numbers here. Raptors shoot 57% from the field. Are you kidding me? Not healthy. Ibaka's been giving you 20 and 10s lately. You don't have him. Powell was so Mr. Consistent when he came back from his first injury. He's not in there. Gasol, with his playmaking ability, he's not there. Yeah, you shoot 57% from the field. That tells you how good the Raptors were tonight offensively, as well as how bad the Minnesota Timberwolves defense actually is. They shoot 45% from the field, so not very pretty. Their Raptors knocked down 17 threes, 17 for 33, 52% from three. Stupid numbers there. They actually shoot 45% from three. They knocked down another three than the Raptors did. However, they took 7 more attempts. All right, at the free throw line, they were at the line a ton more than the Toronto Raptors were. They were at the line 35 times, the Raptors 23. We were 78% from the line, 18 for 23. They were 30 for 35, 86%, so they were really good at the free throw line. But the Raptors got the job done in many other categories. Really good job there. Raptors actually out-rebounded them, and that's the sad part. No Gasol, no Ibaka. Yeah, you out-rebound them by 3, 41-38. Now, the offensive glass was only 10-9 in favor of Minnesota anyways. So it's incredible. 29 assists for the Raptors. Ball was humming all night long. I mean, when Kyle Lowry's out there, that ball's going to be moving like crazy. 15 steals to their 6. We had 4 blocks. They had 4. 18 turnovers for the Raptors. So a little bit up there. But again, you had everything else going for you. They had 23 turnovers, guys. 23 turnovers. The Raptors' turnovers really kind of hit them hard there in that first half. They were really struggling to take care of the ball. And obviously in the third quarter, when they took care of the ball more, their defense was able to set up, and they were extremely good in that third quarter. All right, and points of the paint, Raptors dominated. Again, no Ibaka, you still dominate. 60-38 for points of the paint, and second chance points were +2 in favor of Minnesota, 18-16. And in the fast break, the Raptors dominated. This has been a consistent theme lately. This team gets out, they run, and they ram it down your throat. 35-10 in the fast break opportunities. This team was dominant tonight. And they were really, really strong. Points off of turnovers. They had 26 points of our 18 turnovers, but off of their 23 turnovers, 34 Raptor points were off of those turnovers, making them pay for their mistakes. Big time job for the Raptors in this one. Now let's get to some numbers here, because holy smokes. Because the reason I want to touch on some things here. Terrence Davis, the guy that's been playing ridiculously good ball, averaging almost 20 a game over the last 4 games. He struggles, only plays 15 minutes, has 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting. You think that, you're like, oh gosh, that doesn't sound very good. And you don't have Ibaka? Oh, that doesn't sound like a very good win. Pascal had 34, 6 and 5 on 14 for 21 shooting, 6 of 8 from 3. That's our all-stars, Pascal Siakam. 2 steals and a block for Spicy P. Was a +12 while he's on the floor. Now here's the fun one. Something we haven't seen, and it seems like since the Ice Age. OG Anunoby showing up offensively. This guy, I think he did okay in the last one. Wasn't it the last game he did pretty well too? No, it was the Indiana game where he had 16 on the road in Indy. Today, OG Anunoby had 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists on 10 of 13 shooting. He was, 2 of 2 from the line, 3 of 4 from 3. He had 3 steals and a block, was a +10 while he's on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys watch the game today, I'm not saying he should put up 25 and 12 a night, but if that guy can give us, if he can give us like what Ibaka's been giving us, 15 and 6, something like that every single night, with the defense that he brings, it's incredible. And tonight is a night where we all talk about seeing flashes of good things from OG. Tonight was one of those nights. We haven't seen one a game like that in a very long time from OG Anunoby. It was well needed for his sake. The Raptors needed every bit of it, and he came up big. So with Ibaka and Gasol out now, who's going to start at the 5? Well, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson got the call. I'm like, well, he'll bring you energy. But he had 21 points and 6 boards on 8 of 13 shooting, 5 of 8 from the free throw line. Some reason took 2 threes, missed both, but he had 3 steals in the ball game, was a +20 when he was on the floor, and made Cat Towns look stupid. Cat had 23 and 10, but he shot 5 of 13. This team is the definition of deep. No matter who you throw out there, they make it happen. Kyle Lowry won a ball game today. Comes back from his very short time of injury, and with his whiplash, and again, thank God it was not a very big, because whiplash can either go 24 hours and then gone, or it can linger. And that's when it starts to really be a pain in the rear end. Well, clearly it wasn't lingering with Kyle Lowry today. He played 40 minutes, a little too much for my liking, but he had 27 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, had a double-double, 9 for 16 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 of 7 from 3. He had a steal, 2 blocks, and he was a plus 11. And Fred VanVleet had 16 points, 7 assists, and a couple boards on 5 of 13 shooting, 4 of 4 from the line, 2 of 7 from 3, had 3 steals in the game. He was a plus 21 on the floor in 37 minutes. This starting unit today was incredible. I mean, it was just kind of thrown together. Well, I guess Rondé was just kind of thrown together. But you don't have Ibaka, a guy who's been so steady for this team. You lose him just like that. You throw in Rondé like, hey, Rondé, you're getting the call today. All right, bud. 21-6. This team is incredible. And everyone can say what they want about the regular season. Anyone can say what they want about the Raptors. Who cares about the Raptors? Whatever the case, whatever they want to say. The Raptors have won 15 straight basketball games and barely been healthy for maybe the first 5 or 6 games they were healthy. The rest, they've been banged up and haven't had guys. It's remarkable to see, guys. And he didn't get much from Pat McCaw or Terrence Davis or Boucher or Matt Thomas in the 3 minutes that he played at all off the bench. But your guys, your main guys, your key cogs were insane. And they got the job done today, guys. I mean, it's remarkable to see this team go out there night in, night out and play like they did, no matter who the heck is on the floor. Heck, you could have probably thrown Boucher in the starting unit. He probably would have got you double-double and worked. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that with Cat, obviously, there, because it would be a disaster. Boucher jumps at everything, and Cat loves to pump fake, so that would be a disaster waiting to happen. You have Rondé, the more of a mobile guy, and he does a good job. He did a fantastic job on Cat Towns. I think everyone did a really good job. How they held D'Angelo Russell to 22 points. I mean, in 32 minutes, he was 7 of 12. He was really good, was D'Lo, but he was a minus 22 while he was on the floor. You know why? Defense. They can't play it. And the Raptors just take them to school. All right? Raptors look for win number 16 in a row on Wednesday as they go to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. Obviously, Brooklyn was here just this past weekend, and the Raptors barely scraped up that 1-point victory when Lowry obviously didn't play. Assuming Lowry's going to be playing in this one on Thursday in Brooklyn at 7:30, Raptors look to extend that winning streak to 16 games. The Raptors are now 40-14 on the year, guys. It is I can't even put into words what this whole season has been. It's been kind of that weird roller coaster ride where you haven't been healthy. They had that West Coast trip where you beat the Lakers, and everyone's like, "Whoa, okay, this team might be legit." Without Lowry, without Gasol, you're doing the good things here. And then they face Kawhi, and they get smoked there, and things go down a little bit more. They lose. Lowry and Ibaka come back, and then the Raptors really struggle, and then they lose 3 straight, and we're all like, this team's falling apart. And then they win 16 straight games. I'm telling you, this team is something else. Now, obviously, can they carry this into the playoffs and down the stretch? Well, we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. But what the Raptors are doing right now, they're forcing all these other teams to win. Now, people might say, well, Boston, they're winning a lot too right now, and they only have one more loss than the Raptors. I agree with that 100%. But they didn't play today, and the Raptors won. We have 3 more wins than they do. So you are forcing those teams to win their games. Same with Miami, and Miami's really fallen off the table hard. They've lost 3 in a row. They now have 18 losses. So with the Raptors winning the way they are right now, they are pulling away of some teams. Teams like Philly and Indiana are in the distant mirror now at this point. Yet Philly was talked about a championship team this year, which I still don't believe. This Raptor team is special. We don't quite know yet what that means. We know that they grind. We know that they fight. We know that they claw. We know that they've got 16 in a row, or 15 in a row, excuse me. But we don't know what this will end up to be. I think we can all agree on that. And I can't wait to see where this story goes. Because it's so exciting right now, and I can't wait to keep this thing going, all right? So, like I said, I said Thursday before. It's Wednesday in Brooklyn, 7:30 tip-off there. Raptors looking for win number 16 in a row, all right? So, guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and enjoy this game there this evening at Scotiabank Arena, smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video. Who'd you like, who'd you not like in this game today? Who is your MVP? Would you give it to Pascal at 34? Would you give it to OG with a 25 and 12? Would you give it to Rondé for 21 and 6? Lowry at 27 and 11? Who the heck is your MVP? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Go crazy. Talk about everything you want to talk about when it comes to the Raptors. And Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, Patreon link is down below if you guys are interested in signing up for that. The link is down below. All right, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow. As heck, well, they haven't won 15 straight games, but they look to win a damn game tomorrow at Scotiabank Arena as they welcome in the Arizona Coyotes to town. Looks like Jack Campbell's going to get the start yet again for the Leafs. 7 p.m. puck drop there. It looks like Aiden Hill and Jack Campbell are the expected starters in that game tomorrow night. All right. And as for the Raptors, as we talked about, their next game is on Wednesday in Brooklyn, taking on the Nets. 7:30 tip-off there. Raptors looking for win number 16 in a row. That would be exciting. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.